if you're here today, stress or chronic stress and burnout probably is affecting your life in some way. And it's true. Actually, stress is affecting most of our lives today. And sometimes we don't even notice. That's why on my latest blog, I talk about the 5 hidden signs of stress that could lead to burnout. And as a holistic health coach, I always deal with stress and burnout right in the beginning, the foundation of all the work that I do. Because the truth is, if you don't address this, you cannot go on, you cannot solve all the problems that you want to solve, you cannot create what you want to create, because it's very limiting. What happens when you start get stressed, or even if you're not noticing, things start not working properly. You start feeling tired, you start feeling without inspiration to do things, you start notice that you don't have patience, and all those limiting beliefs start piling up on yourself. And sometimes you have physical effects, you have illness in your body, sometimes you have stress in your mind that will affect your relationships, you will have changes in your body that will upset you, you have withdrawal, you have so many symptoms. In the last blog, you can have this main 5 ones. And when you address it, because it's not about the stress, it's about identifying the stressors you have in your life and what you can do about them. And most of the people don't have like an answer for that. And it's okay, because each one of you can develop your own way of dealing with the stressors that you have in your life. The first step, and that's why I'm constantly talking about signs or whispers from your body that can become some loud screams soon, is identifying the whole, what is happening in your life, what are the stressors, what is going on, and why is it so important? Because if you look around the world, we are not really doing a good job on that. Because if we were, stress today is one of the underlying causes related to all the top 5 leading death causes in the world. Probably in the top 10, 8 have an underlying issue with stress. So if we have these statistics that high, it means that we are not doing the work that we have to do. And why it's so important? Because not being honest with what is happening, how we are reacting to that, the stresses we have in our life, makes everything harder. Or sometimes, even when you achieve, if you're a strong achiever, even when you achieve what you want, when you get it, you don't really enjoy it. And I can tell by my own experience, for me, 2 things happened when I was burnout. One is I almost gave up my career that I invested so much, that I invested years of study and work to get to the high levels of level C executive. And in one point, I was so tired, I was so burnt out that I thought it doesn't matter, I don't want this anymore. And I have a lot of moments over my career that even not being burned out, but being levels of really high stress, I had those moments that I thought that would be like so cheerful, I will be celebrating so hard, that when it happened, I wasn't, because I was so tired, I had no energy to celebrate. So that's why we want to address what is going on in your life. And the first step is really like recognizing. Nobody likes being called like, I'm burnout, because we feel that we are not coping to what we want. Nobody likes to be called like a stressed person. Maybe the only people who really recognize that they can be very stressed people are the perimenopausal women. If you are around my age, you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of people are as stressed as a perimenopausal woman, but just don't like the label. And I understand, and we are not here to look for labels. We are here to do our own work and make things better for us. So what you need to do, once it's recognized, What are the situations that make you feel stressful? What are the signs that you have in your life? You can go deeper in the blog and look what I list there if you relate to any of them. Or when you read one, sometimes something will light up in your head. Oh, I don't have exactly that, but I have this other symptom. So you can start mapping out what happens in your life. Are you always full of energy, or you're really tired at the end of the day? And what would be the options? Because if you learn techniques, if you change your mind, you need to have the tools to deal with stressors. If you have the tools, everything will be much easier. You need to understand your mind, how our mind works, what we can change, what are the programming and what are the beliefs that we have that are not really working and helping us anymore, how we can let it go, how we can switch this programming. And what if you can have a discussion at work? Maybe your boss said something you didn't like the way, or a coworker did something that you didn't enjoy. But what if you can have this discussion, but you could reset, and before the end of the day, when you arrive home, you're not feeling that stressed anymore? Or you could reset and figure out a solution for your situation. Maybe you need to communicate better. Maybe you need to express yourself. But to know that, you need to lower your level of stress. You need to lower your level of stress so you can access clarity in your mind. What if you can have a discussion with your teenager, and even if you said something, oh, you exploded, and he or her exploded, but after you can say, you know what, let's see the situation in a different way. Let's try to address whatever we were trying to address in a different way. What if you can have a project? Sometimes you have that very special project, that business that you started, or whatever it is. And generally we start with engagement and excitement, but on the way, the workload gets bigger and something happens and you start feeling stressed. And suddenly that project that was something so important and that you care so much, you still care a lot, but it's being heavy. What if you can change that? That you can work in a different way. So that are the things about understanding stressors, understand the stress, that is the reaction of the stressors, learning about tools that you can do, learning how your mind works and how you can change for it. And I really believe in the power of baby steps. That's why for today, I want to think about this. What are the signs, if you have any in your life? If you don't have, congratulations. Some people is already doing the work. For me, it's a continuous work. More I learn about stressors and the more I learn about stress and how I can deal with that, I noticed that certain things that used to stress me a lot in the past doesn't stress me anymore, but there is always something new because we are always growing ourselves. We are always getting bigger challenges, doing more. So first, what are the signs? What are the things in your life that might be signaling to you that you need to work on some level on chronic stress and burnout? And look for your feelings. Look for your body reactions, for the health of your body. Look for your relationships. So take a look and share. I will keep doing this subject in this channel. So if you want to subscribe the channel, I will talk about some tools and some techniques on the next week. So if you want, you can subscribe. You can go to the blog at clickwhy.com or sabrinakeiroga.com and read the blog. And every week I also send out one email with some tips that you can use, like some tips relate to the blog, for your wellness, for your health. So see you next week.